I think it's like critical, especially as an entrepreneur. You have like this idea in your mind what you want to build, but you need to be like still like flexible to get like feedback from people who have got a lot of experience and tailor this feedback. Because at the end, if I create a product I'm in love with, but no one else, then I didn't solve a problem.
Welcome to Small Strides, Big Business, the podcast for insurance agents who want to grow their business in a way that feels smart, sustainable, and authentic. On this podcast, we have honest conversations about better sales interactions, client service, automation, mindset, marketing, referrals, practical things that move your business forward in real life. Whether you're brand new or years into the game, so grab a notebook and let's dive into today's conversation. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming to another episode of Small Strides, Big Business. My name is Krystal Small, and I have Sonja Kuhn today here to chat. I'm really excited. She is the founder of Mint Cover. Hi, Sonja. Welcome.
Hey, Krystal. It's good to see you.
Thank you for being here. I'd love to just introduce you a little bit, and then I want to hear from you as to, how did you get where you are today? Just a little bit about you. Founder of Mint Cover, which is an education-first marketplace focusing really on Gen Z customers and helping them to find the right insurance policies and carriers that is perfect for them. Just tell us, how did you get to opening or starting your business? What led you to it? And, what did you see as a need that needed to be filled?
Yeah. Thank you so much for the lovely intro, Krystal.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Like as you said, I moved to the US 2 years ago, and before that, I was like living in Germany and the UK. And I've been in the insurance industry like my whole career, like over like a decade now, and started like as an insurance sales agent. Moving here, I actually knew like how important it is to have like insurance policies and having especially like the right coverage, and not just like having any kind of coverage. So honestly, my journey starts. I moved in an apartment at Atlanta midterm, so I assumed, okay, probably I need renter's insurance and like also looking for liability coverage. Went online as my like first go-to source, because I also didn't have like any kind of like knowledge about like how like the offline sales channel is organized here. And what I actually found was it felt like like a race from the bottom, to be honest. So I went to like all the marketplaces, gave like my data away, my personal data. I answered like so many questions, and like the overview I received, like, hey, here's like one carrier, like this is like a cheap carrier, or like here are like three carriers, and like they are like all super cheap, but like no explanation. And I didn't have like any kind of like knowledge about like the sums that are insured, like, like all these like details, like once you have been an agent, that they are like so critical and important, like when you choose a policy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I also came across like the same kind of like 5 to 10 carriers. So I dig deeper into it. And like during the time when I moved here, I was like still working at Simon Kutscher, a management consulting company, which is focusing on marketing, sales, and pricing. Out of the insurance practice, I reached out to my colleagues and was asking, like, how do you compare insurance like online? Like what I was looking for, my colleagues told me to during that time, yeah, you have to go to an agent or to a broker to really like find like the information you're looking for. I was like, yeah, but like with my working hours, I didn't have any time. So I was like really like relying on like the online source. Like honestly, this problem like stick to me. And I was like talking to people here. I was like really like, is this just bothering me? Or is it like also like a problem that other people see? Because like when you look at customer journeys, a lot of people like search online and often purchase offline. So like, why not like enrich this online search and give people like more education and more information, so they really like choose a product not just based on price, just really like based on like coverage.
Transparency, that's a word that you gave earlier when we were chatting. Yeah, that's important. It's I love hearing stories about people's businesses that come out of like a personal pain, whether it's, you or a friend or a family member, because obviously, if you're experiencing, there's thousands of other people that are having the same experience. So interesting. So tell me a little bit about like the difference of insurance here in the States versus what you guys have in Germany or other countries that you've noticed.
Yeah, happy to. So what I really notice, especially when it comes to like the online channel, in Germany, we have like so much more transparency. Like it's quite easy to compare insurance policies. It's a lot about like also like educating people. And this is like what like really, really surprised me Because like moving from Germany to the US, you think everything is like super like great, like when it comes to customer experience. You think about like the big Silicon Valley companies. And I was like, why isn't this like the case here in the US? Because like people like seek information, seek, as you said, like seek transparency.
Yeah.
And it could also like help like agents as well to have like a good education in the online world so that they don't have to spend so much time when a lead or like a prospect is coming to them because like this prospect is already like educated. Like this would reduce like the sales time tremendously.
Awesome. So that is, as an agent, that's a benefit. If people are coming to me and they already know what I offer and it's already a good fit for
Mhm.
them, that's like a miracle. That's that's a dream. That's a dream referral, right? Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. All right. So tell me, I just want to know more about your
Mm.
platform. So how are you? I know you're new, which is
Yes.
exciting to chat with you in the
Yeah.
beginning. I can't wait to talk to you a year from now. But tell me about, obviously you're targeting kind of a specific demographic, and
Mhm.
then on the other side, what insurance options are you educating people on? Is it health, life, all the way, tell me the whole platform that you're building.
Yeah, sure. So my first product will actually be the renter's insurance.
Okay.
Because like often it's like the first product like someone is buying, and as I'm focusing on a really young target group, I was like thinking about like, what is like the first product they like probably need, and this is like why I'm starting with renters insurance. But once renters is established, I want to move into also like pet insurance, homeowners, and term life insurance, like a like long term perspective.
Yeah.
Um, so this is like actually what I'm doing, like the first product, like really specific about Gen Z consumers, but like also like we're like of course like focusing also over the time on like other demographics, for example, millennials, like earlier, like younger Gen X.
Okay, those who are really using the internet to find their answers. And
Exactly.
also feel like, I'm a little bit older than that, but I think that demographic, I mean, and even
Mm,
mine is people are like wanting to get on, get the answer, make a decision and move on. Right?
yeah.
That the area of spending 5 weeks researching something that's not necessarily. So that could be a good thing, but it can also lead to, impulsive decisions that maybe are not the best because they don't have the education that they should have on something.
Exactly, exactly. And especially because they don't have the education, I guess, like also they, for example, taking renters insurance, like an example, they see renters insurance, they see like three different kind of price points from three different kind of companies. And they think, okay, it all sounds like renters. It should be like the same kind of product, but it's actually not. So a lot of people make that decision because they have like no clue what is covered and what is not covered. So like they think like the only thing how I can compare a policy is just the price.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, tell me a little bit more about, I know that you're bringing the power of AI into this platform of yours. So
Yeah.
share a little bit more about what that looks like. I mean, AI is growing at leaps and bounds. So again, when we talk in 6 months or a year from now, it may look completely different, but if you're leveraging AI to assess your consumer needs. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah. And you're so right. Like even like since I started the company, like AI really changed a lot already. So basically how I'm using AI, like, a user is going through my quiz journey, and like based on the answer, the AI is assessing like the needs of a different kind of like users that are going through the journeys. And as I will have like the matching between a prospect and a policy and a carrier, I'm using AI, of course, like to match like the customer profile, like which was created through the journey to the different kind of insurance options from the different kind of carriers. And so like we like at the end, like offering a result page to the consumer that is like ideal for their personal needs. And this is like where AI is like helping me a lot when you just like talk about the consumer part of
Yeah.
my journey. And of course, like in the back end, they have a lot going on when it comes
Right.
to AI. And really like helping me to speed up the whole process in like the development, to be honest.
Awesome. And when we first spoke,
Mm,
we did talk about just the human element that's still needed in insurance too. So I think I'm guessing, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but once AI kind of takes the information
mm.
that's put in there, and I'm sure it's going to grow with the more data that you have from your prospects, right? But then you do throw them into a conversation with a human. and that element is still really important. Am I getting that correct?
Yeah, 100%. Because I'm a big believer, like, even though that everyone said, like, hey, like, AI will replace all of us at the end, like, especially when you have like a product like insurance where like trust is like a currency, like, you want to have this like human touch. And I talked to like so many people also within my target group. And even though that you could think like, hey, these like young people are like, they're just always on their phone. They don't want to like talk to someone. They actually do want to talk to someone. Also, like, especially like not for the education part, but especially like to make a decision, like to make, am I correct, like making this choice or not? And I think for me, it's not like AI or the agent. It's like, how can you use AI to like really help consumers and then connect them to the agent?
Yeah. I love that what you just said, trust is a currency.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and so true. And I think it's so important. I mean, as a mom of 3
Mm,
teenagers, I really say we just still need to encourage our children to talk to humans, and not do everything just by what ChatGPT says or talk via text. It's really, in my opinion, it's still so important to build those skills of conversing. So I love that that's part of
yeah.
the process, to be honest with you. Not
Happy
just
to
because
hear
I
that.
like talking to people, but I think that I think it's a responsibility
Mm,
of businesses and platforms to continue to have human interaction as part of the process, for us as a human species, to be honest, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Like, how boring would our life be if we're just like talking to AI and
Yeah,
chatbots?
absolutely. I'd love to chat a little bit just about your entrepreneurial journey. I mean, this is a big step starting a company,
Yeah.
and I applaud you and the courage and all of the ups and downs that you will have, as that's inevitable, right? So we kind of talked about your motivation to start Mint
Mm.
Cover, but what did that look like when you decided to take the leap from working for other people and the punching in and punching out of a consistent paycheck to starting this company? What did that look like for you?
Honestly, it took me like nearly a year to really like have like the courage
Yeah.
to say, okay, I'm just like gonna go all in and start like the business now. Because I mentioned I've worked in consulting, so like you've got these like pretty long consulting days, so you can't like just like start something like on the side, especially not something that big. So it was like well thought through to start the business, because honestly, the more I was digging deeper into this like problem and like went down this rabbit hole, like I'm always okay, there's such a need. There's such a need. And like I can tell you like so many like statistics and data, especially like who has got the biggest need. And especially like as like women, like a lot of women are actually like underinsured, underprotected. I was like, I want to change that. And also like from my perspective, to be honest, it's like no better country to start your entrepreneurial journey than the US, because it's super easy to start a business here. And honestly, what I also love is like how supportive like the whole community around me is. Like Atlanta is like a fantastic place to be. As like I think like is the fourth largest tech hub here in the US. So a lot of startups, a lot of like support system. Of course, you need to like build up your network. Also like build up your network, your credibility. Also like within like the tech space, within like the insurance space. But so far, like of course there are like up and downs, but the ups are so great for me. And yeah, so far it's an interesting ride. It's a roller coaster, to be honest. You've got good days, you've got bad days, but at the end, like for me, what is like really like always like driving me is like this customer problem that I want to solve.
Yeah, it sounds like I love the mission of, especially you're seeing
Mm.
women really be impacted.
Yeah.
I love that. So, do you have any mentors that you've reached out to? I mean, I know that there's a lot of entrepreneurs, especially now when you can start anything from your bedroom, right? Like,
Mm.
as I'm sitting in my bedroom for my office right now, you can literally, have an idea and start it the next
Yeah.
day by, getting an LLC for $100 or whatever. But that doesn't mean that you have the support, right, that you need.
Yeah.
As a new entrepreneur, as a female working, I'm not sure if you have a staff yet or how big, but tell me, did you find mentors? Did you have mentors? Who are you looking to support you in this journey?
Yeah. And like mentors are like such an important piece, like, and so critical. So I got actually like really lucky. So I have like 10 mentors through my GIA, like the Global Insurance Accelerator program. They're like all working at different carriers and like all have like different kind of backgrounds. Like someone is like a lawyer, another one is like really like working at the IT department at a carrier. So I really got like a strong mentor support system I'm like unbelievably grateful for, because they're like really helping me with the insights. And it's also like they keep you accountable when you have like regular check-ins, because like keeping yourself accountable is like a big thing when you start a business, and also like giving me like so many insights, like really like helping me also to connect to people. On the other hand, actually, I also found like great mentors like through LinkedIn, to be honest, like also like how we connected. Because especially at the beginning of my journey, I also like focus a lot about like posting on LinkedIn and like posting about like the mission and vision of my company, the problem I'm seeing, and got like really, really great feedback, and people also like reaching out, starting a conversation. And like once you transfer this like online conversation and like real life conversation, it was like we are doing via Zoom, also like people I met and like in person, like at the events. Like you really build your support system, your mentor system, like, because I think it's like critical, especially as an entrepreneur, because you have like this like idea in your mind what you want to build, but you need to be like still like flexible to get like feedback from people who have got a lot of experience and tailor this feedback in, so that because at the end, like if I create a product I'm in love with but no one else, like then I didn't solve a problem.
Right, right, and it was a good waste of time.
Yeah, end of money. Yeah.
And money, right, right. Let's not forget the money. Awesome. All right. Well, this has been so great. I'm so excited that we connected. And again, in the
Me
beginning of
too.
your journey, it's a really exciting and I think much needed thing as well. I'm fairly
Mm.
new to the insurance world myself, and it's overwhelming for all ages, So, if we were to ask you for some advice for somebody that is either new to insurance or new
Mm.
to building something from scratch or from an idea, do you have any advice that you'd give these people?
That's such a good question. So I think at the beginning, especially when you start something from scratch and when you leave like corporate America, my first impression was, okay, I'm now looking at my calendar and I don't have like any meetings in my calendar.
Mm.
So like this like structure I had like per like on a daily base was like really like gone. So I think especially at the beginning, just like thinking about how can I structure my day? So
Mhm.
like to keep myself like also like accountable. Also thinking about like, okay, what needs to be done until when, and how are like things like clicking together, which really helped me. So like at the beginning, to be honest, before I had like any meetings with people, I just like put like blocks in my calendar, just like, hey, this is like a time I'm focusing on X. This is like a time where I'm focusing on Y. To really have like the structure, keeping myself accountable, also like thinking through a task in more detail, because it can also be like super overwhelming, to be honest. Like when you start something which is like quite a big thing to start, and you have got like so many to dos like on your head, and hey, like how do I get there? For me, it always helped me like to set smart goals and like break these like goals down in like sub goals. And it's like one advice I can really like share to also like be still motivated, because
Mhm.
you have like your ups and downs, and some days are like better and sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, why did I start there?
Yeah. Well, especially when you're new, you're like, you're the CEO, you're the CFO, you're the secretary, you're the janitor, you're the cook.
Yeah.
Like you're literally everything. So that's awesome. I love the time blocking idea. I think that's something that
Mm.
when I do it, it works really well. And I keep
Yeah.
coming away from it personally. That's a really great reminder. Uh, awesome. And then filling your calendar. That's another one that you touched on. What is the phrase? You can see how successful somebody is by how full their calendar is, right? So whether that's appointments or things that you're doing, it's important to fill that. So awesome. Well,
Yeah, true.
Sonia, how can people get a hold of you? How can they find your app or your platform?
Mhm.
How can agents reach out to you if they want to be part of this?
Yeah. So I have a website, cover.net, where people can sign up to a wait list, because I'm also looking for beta users, especially like also like in the Asian space, and like signing up to my wait list on the one hand, but also like reaching out to me personally. It's Sonja at minutcover.net. I can also like share the details with you for the
Yes, we'll
description
put
of
it in
the podcast.
writing. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like feel free to reach out, like start a conversation or connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm like always like happy to talk to everyone who wants to like to be involved in Windcover. Also like getting more feedback. Like maybe someone listened to this podcast said like, hey, like I have a really a pain point. Maybe I actually could incorporate this or that. Like this is like the advice and the feedback I love to get.
Awesome. I love it. I love that you're open to really learning what is needed out there above and
Yeah.
beyond what you see yourself. That's great. Well, thank you so much. I really have appreciated connecting with you, and we will launch this and follow you to see how this journey goes.
Thank you so much. It was great to talk to you as well.
Thank you for spending time with me today on Small Strides, Big Business. I hope this conversation gave you some clarity, confidence, or one new idea to move your agency forward. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to follow or subscribe and share it with another agent who could benefit. I'm Krystal Small, and remember, every small stride you take today builds the foundation for long-term confidence, stability, and growth in your business.